Welcome everyone. This is Ragnarok here with part 6 of my Warhammer 2 Mortal Empire's Balthasar Gelt campaign on Legendary difficulty. We're going to start reading through Wraight's Sword of Justice. We are just coming up to chapter 14. Not to spoil anything for you guys, but yeah, if you haven't read the book yourself, I did like last episode. I did a bit of a review of what we've read through so far, and yeah, if you're up for it, the Karl Franz campaign that I did previously, we read the first 13 chapters during the end turn. So we'll continue with that, and we're gonna crack on through this campaign for another hour or so, and then also this has been streamed on DLive, so if you guys want to watch ahead on DLive, the replays are available for a week on there. So yeah, if you guys want to vision into the future, that's where you can see it on DLive at RagnarokTotalWar at DLive TV. I think it's DLive TV / RagnarokTotalWar, but all that information is in the video description for you guys. Alright, so we've got a little bit of money to play with, and we've got a lot of work to do. We've got vampires sort of circling us here. It looks like sharks in the water, but we are not yet at war with them, so that is one bright point. We do need to get military access or something with these guys. Either that or break out treaties with the border princes and come down here and conquer this area. Wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea, but for the time being I kind of like them as a buffer, and I mean, I guess we could just trespass on them and just deal with the repercussions later. Stirland, I'm hoping that we can confederate with them later on, or just absorb the empire bit by bit. We confederated last time with Averland, which actually should probably demolish this. I don't think I'm going to be recruiting anything from these buildings as of just yet. I do really want to get great swords to upgrade, because I was not impressed with how paper thin our line was last time. It was a much closer battle than I would have liked it to have been. Alright, so we've got the garrison forces here to help us out. We are gonna fight this one, and then probably make our way around the settlement, and move towards possibly going and getting rid of these guys. Alright, I think this time Vanguard, deploy you guys. Oh man, Gelt got a lot of replenishment during the end turn. You guys are gonna help out over here too. The Empire endures. Then I don't foresee, I mean, actually even the great swords, though the great swords I positioned really poorly in that battle last episode, so it's no wonder that they're all beat to hell. Go! Sigmar calls. Taking position. You guys over here. Missile infantry. We are ready. Yes, General. Guys that are in somewhat okay shape. Well, someone can take out that wolf chariot quickly. I've been getting a bonus versus this thing, because it is, yeah, there we go. There's the bonus versus large at work. Not bad. I don't think the swords are going to be needed, just let the bows do the work here. Okay, can you not shoot at our own troops?
Outriders, formation march! For the Warhammer! Spearmen, ready! Crossbowmen, bring it down! We await your orders! Swordsmen!
Alright, this went much better than the previous battle. That's for sure. The odds were a little bit more stacked in our favor, I suppose. I'm gonna finish this guy. Well, actually, if they survive, we might be able to get one more battle here. And get a little bit more experience for Geld. Yeah, I don't know. I think 6 is probably the ideal amount for archers, but I don't know. 8. I love having the firepower. I just wish the front line was a little bit sturdier. That's all. Yeah, we should be able to get. Oh, never mind. I say we should be able to get another battle here, but not to be. Alright, we gotta start planning things, what we're gonna do next. Figure out. Figure out what we're gonna do. I think we go with quartermaster. Hit those, and then that'll probably be it for. We could go logistician, but we'll see. We'll wait and. Logistician might not be necessary for Gelt.
I am ready.
I'm gonna pop you in there just to give a bonus for the public order for now and get a little bit of additional replenishment. And then in the meantime, let's do some building. I think it's important to get this province built up because there's no guarantee that we're going to be able to keep these provinces. But in the meantime, we might as well build defenses here so that we can at least slow down the vampires. Probably I'll switch those to shrines. We're gonna need it to get rid of the corruption, though it's moving in our favor. It's pretty good. Definitely need to get this built up so we can build the walls here. You know what? Maybe we'll get rid of this, put the walls there right away. Alright, you know what? I don't think we need this here now either, since we've got it in Averheim. We'll use Averheim as a recruitment area for now. And demolish this, we'll build the, what do you call it? Build the blacksmith. And then that way we can get our greasy hands on some great sword. We'll replace, we'll go with an elite army. Or, well, as elite as you can get early game. And I mean, we've got access to sweet artillery already. Wagon with the mortar. Son of a bitch. Where is the... Is there not a... Take a look at this. War wagon with a mortar. War wagon. What the blazes? I thought there was a war wagon with a Hellblaster volley gun. Is that just one of the Imperial reinforcements? Or is that just for multiplayer? Or is that even... Or is that just a figment of my imagination? Students, guns, mortar... Siege artillery... Bloody freaking hell. What is the cost on the war wagon with the mortar? 275 compared to 167. I wonder, range 340, range 380. It's got less range, but or at least mobile. I don't know. I don't. Probably just gonna go with the Hellblasters. I don't know. Hellblaster volley gun. We really should get over here and get rid of those orcs, because otherwise they're just gonna keep being a nuisance.
In these dark times, we should stand together.
Bloody hell! Why are they freaking? They're so keen on the defensive alliance, but they won't give us military access. The relationship is improving. Leave it for now. Don't want us coming down here. At the same time, I don't want to get stretched too thin. We're already kind of in a weird situation. Mainly because of the early Confederation.
Now.
Yeah, I think I'll let the rebellion happen here. Come down. We'll stay here at Karak-Kurin and get replenishment. Clear the rebellion. Move to Aberheim. Reform the army. And then move on to take on the vampires. Alright, Sword of Justice, Chapter 14. Verstholen was standing on the west side of the river with Groslick's men amidst a cluster of low buildings. He checked to see that his pistol was loaded and primed to fire. The campaign was going well. All the major bridges were now in Groslick's hands, and they'd made inroads into the poorer parts of the western bank. It seemed that wherever they chose to assault, they had the victory. Leitdorf's men were demoralized and divided. By contrast, Groslick's were disciplined and effective. Verstholen's regard for the man as a commander had only grown. "Keep it quiet," whispered Euler. "Let's make this quick and easy, one den at a time." Fighting here was house to house. No one knew where Leitdorf was holed up. The race to find him was intense. Groslick had promised 100 gold crowns for his head, which had encouraged a good deal of enthusiasm for finding him. Following a vague lead, Euler's band had ended up in one of the smelliest alleys in the poorer quarter. The walls were tall and narrow. As they crept down it, even the dominating Averberg was lost to view, as were the baking rays of the sun. That would have been a comfort had it not been for the refuse piled knee-high at the alleyway's base. In some sections, it felt like they were wading through slurry. The men went watchfully. Their numbers had swelled since the start of the campaign, and there were now 30 of them in the company. Euler crept up to the door at the end of the fetid alleyway. Rubbish was piled up against it, and the wooden frame looked half rotten. A terrible place for a hideout, but Leifdorf was no doubt running out of bolt holes. Plenty of terrified citizens of the poor quarter had pointed them in this direction. For the most part, they didn't care which of the warring factions won control of the city. They just wanted the fighting to end. Electors go to war. Emperor Karl Franz. The rival states of the Empire and Weisenland have been unable to reconcile their differences, and tensions have bubbled over into full-blown war. Elector Count Emperor Karl Franz of the Empire has declared war on Weisenland. What action will you take? Side with the Empire. The Emperor declares war on Weisenland. Fealty of the Empire +1. Current is 6. Side with Weisenland. Do nothing. The Emperor declares war on Weisenland. Fealty of the Empire +1. Fealty of Weisenland +1. Stop the war. Civil war between the two electors has been prevented. Imperial authority +1. Could side with the Empire. This would give us something to do. Weisenland is right beside us. But we do have those orcs bothering us again. Stop the war. Nothing. Don't have a ton of imperial authority right now, but I'm gonna stop the war for now. I mean, maybe we should have. Maybe we should have sided with the with Franzi and just full on invaded there. We do have this over here to deal with, which is Fort Solo will take care of that. I think we stay put here for now. Just because if they do pull the same shenanigans that they did last time, then we're gonna have to backtrack again. But this way, the fort can hold its own, and I wanna really leave this province until we get the defenses built here, which should be soon. We're gonna build the defenses at Dorf. And then Averheim, let's build the blacksmith. It's gonna be our temporary military base for now. And then over here, I just want to fortify everything. So that at the very least, when the vampires do attack, we'll make them have to earn it. Not to mention too, we're headed towards rebellion here as well. So a lot of management problems here right now. Moment.
I am ready. Are you?
Yeah, while it would have been nice to declare war on them, I feel like we're not in a great position at the moment. Even though we're not involved in a lot of wars, we're in a very kind of a bit of a tumultuous situation. That's because we've got constant orcs heading this way. Our main provinces, the public order hasn't been settled yet, and we've taken on territory here in Vampire Country that we weren't really ready for. 3 turns. Which barracks do they require? The armory. So we've got to build it to level 4. Alright, so it'll be a while before we can upgrade all the way to great swords. But no harm in working towards that.
Zulrika!
Men of the Empire, what brings you?
I think not.
Yeah, we don't even have enough to offer them, but at least it's improving. Last time it didn't even come up as a moderate chance, so
Not in my
at least
name.
going in the right direction.
I will not obey. Yes? By Sigma's will, coming a fool's action. So be it.
Oh, good.
The Empire. I hold Galmaran. No, sir. All right. I will listen.
Sigma's greetings, my countrymen.
I will not obey. So, greetings on behalf of the.
It is time. Make your proposal.
What?
I am ready to parley. I hope your words are wise.
Alright. Cool. Euler listened at the door for a few moments, stepping carefully, regretting the mess Grime had made of his expensive Zellenhof boots. Verstolen joined him, placed his ear against the pitted surface of the wood. There was some noise from within, but too faint to make out. Movement, perhaps. "You're sure about this?" said Verstolen, his voice low. Euler shrugged. "It's a lead. Got any better targets?" "None." "Let's get it over with, then." Two men stepped back from the door. Euler placed his foot over the flimsy lock and kicked savagely. The door swung open on rusty hinges and they charged in. There was a dingy chamber beyond, lit by dirt-streaked windows on one wall and a series of tallow candles on another. The smell was overpowering. Several men sat around a table in the center. They were armed, if poorly, and jumped up as soon as Euler and Verstolen burst in. In such an irregular war, it was impossible to tell at first glance who was fighting for whom, but they had the look of Leitdorf's men, holed up away from the fiercest fighting. Verstolen stepped to one side, took careful aim, and sent a bullet spiraling in the face of the nearest man. The man spun backwards. His cries of surprise cut cruelly short. Euler flew at the next nearest, knocking him back with a furious swipe of his sword. Then the rest of the men were in the chamber, tearing at the inhabitants. Blades flashed in the semi-darkness and blood splattered on the filth-strewn floor. There was no way out, no rear exit. The fighting was mercifully brief. Leitdorf's men put up a token struggle, but they were outnumbered and taken unawares. Verstolen took little part in it and put his pistol in his holster. Rebellion. Imminent rebellion. Insolent. Okay. No problem. Peitor. Yeah, so I mean, it's nice that we've got this fort here, but fucking greenskins can just bypass the damn thing. But annoying. I'm gonna force march you into there, but I have a feeling they're just gonna skip over to here again. Worries me a little bit. Ah, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Ah, didn't necessarily want to do that. Want it for the rebellion. We should have just... I mean, I feel like the garrison probably could take that on. I guess it's not worth the risk. You know what I've been forgetting to do? Is, recruiting, checking to see if there's any captains available. Anyway, there's not at the moment. Not anything that I want. Wouldn't hurt to have a scout as well, though, either. Things are good there. Good here. Sort of. Order in. Yes. Hmm.
Grudge bearer. What brings you before the heir of Lund? Pointless.
Alright, I don't really want to spend money on that military access just yet because I'm not sure that we're going to be able to move right away. Got the vampires hemmed in here. I feel like it's a good idea to try and get rid of them while they're hemmed in here and move over this way. That means abandoning our main province. For the time being, anyway. Yeah, so once we get the walls here, we won't really have to worry about these guys, not too much anyway. As long as they come up with this kind of force, there's not really a whole lot to worry about. Wait a minute, are we at war? What the fuck? We're at war with these guys? When the fuck did that happen? What the hell?
Aye. Times grow dark.
When the bloody hell did that happen? Alright. War with the dwarves here. I don't... The event list. War declared. I don't know. Whenever it happened, I completely missed it.
Yes.
I guess before we go fighting vampires, that's what we're gonna have to do first. Deal with them. Ragnarok, I believe the capital settlement is in the middle here. And the other settlement's way the hell over here. Alright, do not kill them all, he cried. But then there was one survivor, cowering in the corner. He had no weapon and seemed older than the others. Mueller held up his hand, and the assault stopped. 6 men lay dead on the floor, 5 of them light dwarfs. Mueller went over to the man in the corner. He was skinny, almost emaciated, with lank hair that hung to his shoulder. His skin was a pale gray, almost blue in the folds of flesh under his eyes. He looked utterly wretched. As Euler stood over him, the man scrabbled to get even further back into the corner, like a trapped animal in a cage. "Leave this to me," said Versholland, walking over to the corner. Euler shrugged. "As you wish. We'll have a look around." Versholland squatted down, facing the trembling figure. The man smelled as bad as everything else. Heat had turned half of Aberheim into a cesspit. "What's your name?" asked Versholland, keeping his voice calm. The man stared back at him, wide-eyed, and said nothing. He seemed to be having trouble focusing. Versholland leaned forward and sniffed. Somewhere, buried beneath the layers of body odor, heliotosis and excrement, there was an element of jasmine. A joy root user. Versholland begun to wonder whether Leutdorf had stamped the trade out amongst his followers. "Where do you get your supply?" The man shook his head, still trembling. It was as if his mouth had been glued together. Versholland couldn't decide whether the man was terrified of him or just generally terrified. The narcotic was certainly capable of inducing paranoia. Oh yeah, did exactly what I figured they would do.
Do not waste my potential. Wind of Shammon, I will. Let us begin. Now.
Does worry me a little bit.
You summon me.
what I'm gonna do, just to be on the safe side. Alright, I'm gonna
The nation calls.
recruit this guy. We are going to name him Marcus Block, I think. And throw him into the settlement here.
What does the Emperor bid? So?
Doesn't hurt our income too much. He's already in the settlement.
So,
Anyway, I'm gonna transfer you in there as well, just to give them a little bit more. I don't want to lose this.
I refuse.
14.
Praise Sigma.
That gives us 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes, my lord.
Alright, well, that'll have to be enough. Ooh, you know what? A couple regiments of renown. And they're not at full strength, but better safe than sorry. Better spend a little bit of money. Prevent a catastrophe. Because one more turn and we can build this. And then 4 more turns we can get the walls built. Yeah, I'm definitely regretting doing the
Welcome, my countrymen.
Confederation
Indeed.
so early. Sweet.
Disagree with that?
Alright.
The Empire. Surely an agreement will be.
Buy some land they don't like us so much.
Iron out,
Angren.
men of the Empire.
Give us
What
military
brings you
access.
here? Unsmacken.
Not yet.
Zogoth.
I will marshal the men.
In here.
What does the
10.
Emperor bid?
Not in good shape.
Yes.
Oh, we've also got these guys. Pick up.
To the provinces. The Empire.
I don't think we need them.
Ready.
Right, I'm just gonna pick up one. We'll pick up the Sterling's Revenge. And then that should be good. More than likely they're gonna tuck tail and head down to there. That's my guess. We're gonna want to end this war with the dwarves by coming into this province. And we're gonna need to react to the rebellion here. We're also gonna have to react to rebellions here. Gonna be fucking rebellions all over the place. Let the good times roll. There's nothing more for us here, said Euler, coming to stand at his shoulder. You think it's worth questioning this one? I do. Will you wait outside for me? Euler nodded. Don't be too long. There are more leads to follow. I could use those gold pieces. The men filed out of the chamber and back into the alley. The last one to leave pulled the door closed behind him. Verstholen and the man were alone. I think you understand why I'm asking you these things, said Verstholen, fixing the ruined figure with a hard stare. If you choose to give me answers, it will go better for you. The man shook his head, keeping his mouth clamped closed. Then, as far as if as an afterthought, spat on Verstholen's face, shrank back after that, looking even more scared than before. So be it. The spy reached into his coat. As ever, when he retrieved the amulet, the metal was hot. It knew when it was near corruption. Indeed, the device was part of that corruption, just a shard of the horror that still existed at the roof of the world. It was a dangerous thing to use, dangerous but invaluable. As Versholin withdrew the amulet, the man looked at him sidelong. He could obviously sense something, but didn't seem to know what it was. "Look at this," ordered Versholin, and thrust it before the wretch's eyes. Just as had happened with Fromgar, the change was instantaneous. The blurred eyes became sharply focused. The bluish lines around them seemed to pulse with a lurid light, as if thick veins had suddenly generated around the lids. The man tried to get up, scrabbling at the stone. His breath started to come in thick wheezes. Versholin stood and withdrew a few paces, pulled the pistol from his holster, and aimed it at the man's face. Under Morsleb's glare, war for +5 leadership for our armies. You know what? I'm gonna improve the omens. You know what? Well, we'll risk the wrath. We have the money. We kind of need the money right now. All right. Yeah. Kind of figured they were gonna do that.
Do not waste my potential.
God dang it.
The Empire.
You come out here.
Onwards.
We pop you into
I am
raid
innocent.
stance. No, that's not gonna work.
I am the Supreme Patriarch.
Never mind.
Step to it.
Alright, I want the rebellion to happen here, so that we can tidy it up, and then we'll move this way.
It is time.
Get you back into Gelt's army.
Let us begin.
Alright, let's definitely get this belt.
Yes, my lord.
I'm gonna band
What?
Sterling's Revenge. 10 turns. Yeah, they're just being a nuisance at the moment.
Who calls?
Pretty much back to full strength with his army. And this should be able to fight off a rebellion depending on what quality it is. It shouldn't be very high quality, and then oh, the mood is a single settlement. Wow, that's interesting. Very, very interesting. We did get... Double check that. Okay, sorry, no,
So-
we didn't get military access with them.
Welcome, my countrymen.
To battle, I am Beligar, true king of the... If you say
Oh, sugar. Oh, you know what? The military, or the defensive alliance, does actually give us military access. So, there you go. But I didn't mean to do that.
true king,
I
in these dark times,
mean,
we
if we're gonna
should
be
stand
defensive
together.
allies, we might as well be military allies. But I don't want that.
What?
No problem.
Surely an agreement will be. Who calls?
Really like to get
Greetings.
non-aggression with
Disagree
Carl.
with that?
The others I'm not too worried about at the moment. Most of our neighbors were on relatively good terms with, yeah. Attitude is pretty good at the moment. Alright, what are we going to research next? Okay, well, that should help things out a little bit. Settlement building. Welcome from the show. Assembly line. I want to start getting these. We're actually getting to the point where this will actually make a decent, some nice little boost for our economy. But in the meantime, I think I want to get some of this stuff. The infantry. Boost up the infantry. Get that additional armor. Yeah. We'll get these and then we'll start working on the economy. Because those are going to be invaluable for our troops. We need to start saving for this.
What? Very well.
Put you in ambush just to see what happens, see if that affects what they do. I'm gonna keep Marcus. Ooh, you know what? Actually, we don't need to keep Marcus block here. We can always pick up somebody else if they do come back this way. I think Gelt should have enough movement to hit them this time if they do come back. And the dwarves, I don't know how we ended up at war with them, but they don't seem inclined to move on us just yet anyway, so that's alright. Just concerned about this mess that we've got over here that we're gonna have to deal with. Because I'd prefer it not fall into the hands of the vampires. Speak to me, he commanded. The red-rimmed eyes blazed. You cannot command me, the man cried, and spittle flew from his mouth. The voice was strange and twisted, like a cross between a man's and a woman's. I have the power to kill you. You do well to speak to me. The man laughed, and his skeletal chest shuddered with the effort. And what? You'll spare my life? He nearly choked on his laughter, and broke into a racking cough. I don't think so. You have no idea about life and death anyway. You're ignorant. You're ignorant, human. As ignorant as the rest. Maybe so. Why not enlighten me? What do you wish to know? How the 6 dimensions of pleasure are interwoven. How the nexus of desire derives from the kernel of a nightmare. How the world will end. I can tell you all of this, human. All of this and more. First Holland ignored the ravings. All cultists thought they had privileged access to arcane secrets. That was what made them so pathetic. To acquire genuine knowledge was a long and difficult process. Expecting it to be handed over on a silver platter in exchange for performing a few rites over a pentangle was tedious in the extreme. Ooh boy. What do we have here? Ladub's Mork's Chosen. Now, these armies are getting a little bit better, but I do believe we should have no real difficulty here. Got artillery. We've got defensive position. Nothing really to worry about.
Great cannon! Mortar! The Empire endures! Ready! Crossbows ready, General!
Alright, this time I don't think I'm gonna position everyone on the walls. I think what we'll do is we'll set up our defensive positions on the fortification here. Nice and sturdy like. And then maybe I'll put the swords on the walls and make a run back this way. The halberds here. Speed 32. Yeah, they're all the same speed, our infantry. Ooh, the greatswords are a little bit slower. Yeah, let's try not to let any wolf riders slip in behind us this time. Last time we fought one of these wolf riders. And try and keep the artillery back a little bit, where they're gonna be a little bit oh, whoops, where they're not gonna get shot by archers. And also we can lob our shots over these fortifications, and we can also turn to lob into here, and the fortification will act as a little bit of a block some of the shots. Wraiths are sort of the Empire Knights. You guys there for now. Then you, sir. You're right there. Send you to whichever side needs you.
Ready for war.
This out of the way.
Great swords.
You know what? I think I'm just gonna abandon the walls altogether. Why risk it? Get into position here right away. Well, you know what? This is interesting. I've never noticed this before, but the garrison actually does get experience. Look at that. That's fucking awesome.
We are Sigmar's heirs.
So I don't know if, so when we upgrade this to level 4, I don't know if that affects the experience.
We are Sigmar's
They end up losing it. The Empire Knights. I'm gonna keep you guys right there. And same thing on this side. That way when they come into here, we can smash in behind them. Alright, so we're not going to get any free kills with the towers here, but I think we'll be just fine. Alright, let's get you guys off fire well for the moment. Let them come up here first and lob up a little bit. Ooh, son of a bitch.
Crossbowman. Ready. Great cannon.
I picked him off.
Targets.
There we go.
Sigmar commands.
And the rock lobber there. Range attack.
Crossbows ready, General.
And just in its range. Oh, for fuck's sake, where are you guys going?
Great cannon. Move out.
Back into position. I think he's waiting for the rest of his troops. Which, I guess they're using up their artillery. You guys bomb right there for now. kind of in a bit of a blind spot there. Might be able to.
We are ready! Wreck that machine!
Moving pretty slow.
For the twin-tailed comet!
Aim is not so great here with the mortar.
Great cannon!
Alright, can you
Black powder blessed!
hit him now? From there. There you are.
By Ulrich's wrath! Crossbowmen! Taking aim! Good! Take the ground! No lingering! Understood!
Into a bit better
Great
position.
cannon!
Hit him
For the
now.
Warhammer!
Artillery units ready!
Mortar! Fire!
Alright, now they're making a push.
Angle of elevation! Yes! Moving! Archers one! Mortar! Ready! Launch! For the Warhammer! Take aim!
I don't feel like we're off to a great start here. There's no real threat there.
Crossbowmen! Find your targets! Sigmar guides us! Show us the foe!
Alright. Get you guys positioned so we can do
Yes!
some
Move out!
more shots in.
Mortar! Seeking enemy! Ready for war! The Empire endures!
Halberds are holding.
Ready to serve!
Save the Empire Knights for now. They don't seem like they want to attack them. That's gonna be a bit of a problem. You gotta get over here.
Crossbows ready, General!
Okay. We need to guys need to cut down those knight archers. Ah, shit.
Yes, my lord! Armed and ready! Cavalry ready! We are Sigmar's heirs! Missiles at the ready! Launch! No lingering! Swordsman! Sir! For the Emperor! Cavalry ready!
Make sure those trolls don't come back.
Sir!
Same thing over here.
The Empire endures! Take aim! Sigmar calls! The ground
Oh,
quakes!
the trolls did come back. You guys should be able to take them on.
Crossbowman!
How are we doing over here?
Swordsman! Ready for the Warhammer!
Where are you guys going?
At speed!
Alright, I want you.
Now! Ready to
Take
serve!
him on.
For the Heldenhammer! Mortar! Throw the cannons! Crossbowman! Yes, my lord! For Heldenhammer! Mortar! Our steeds are restless! Ready! Attack! Crossbows ready, General! We
Alright,
obey!
this is looking good over here.
Spot us the target!
Ready for war! Listen up!
Alright.
Emperor's might!
I think we just about got this. Yeah, victory is in our grasp.
Yes, General!
Good stuff.
Very well.
I'll run some of these guys down.
Yes, General. Get them! Crossbowmen! Ready!
Yeah, it's a very strong defensive position. Very tough for the AI to really be able to do much about this. But we don't want to get too overconfident here. And eventually they're going to bring stronger armies in. And if they were to bring 2 full stacks, could definitely be in some trouble. So be nice to actually eventually get down there and get rid of them for good. But I mean, at least Garrison's getting some experience, so I guess there is some advantage to it. Or some benefit to it. Ooh. Oh, the gods are angry. The omens are ill. Something you've done has angered the gods. If they are fickle, they may forgive you in time, or more immediate appeasement might be necessary. If we do a tribute, we get +4 public order. Alright, we'll do a tribute. Public order is definitely a bit of an issue at the moment. Talabacland has come under attack from Norsk in the region of Camperbad and are appealing for your military assistance. Come to their defense and join them in battle, or leave them to fight their attackers alone. Alright, yeah, I guess we will send a military force. I want to keep these guys happy. I mean, it does take a little bit of extra work, but we are gonna start things off with this battle next time. So looks like it's gonna be a tough one. Skin wolves are definitely no joke. Marauder champions are tough. Marauder hunters, I haven't seen these guys before, but the skin wolves are definitely a pain in the ass to deal with. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break from the stream, and I'll see you guys next time on YouTube. Part 7 will be up next. Have a great day. Ragnarok signing out.